Good evening, everybody. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? This is, I don't know what episode of Christian in Focus, but we're going to call this episode 1. I am back in full effect in front of the microphone doing my thing. I'm so glad to be here with you all, everybody listening to my voice, seeing my beautiful face on this wonderful camera. Welcome. Everything is new, right? New setup, new microphone, new version of the show. I'm excited about it. I think, the hiatus was needed so that I could get into a more comfortable space so I can holler at y'all about the things I want to holler at y'all about. So, I'm live now. And I can't see any of your comments. I am streaming on this thing called StreamYard. I'm still trying to figure out how it works exactly. So if you are saying something, I cannot comment back with your chat. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm a little old. I'm only 35, but as a millennial, you either like on the cusp of knowing how technology works or you just don't at all. I'm one of those guys that are on the cusp. I really don't know what's going on, but I'm trying to figure it out. Really, really trying to figure it out. But outside of that, let's get into it, man. It's been some crazy stuff happening, just in the news, in the media, in politics. One of the main things I want to share with y'all, right? Boom. The Texas Supreme Court let Texas keep the new congressional maps. This is crazy. The primary is gonna be insane. I am positive Al Green is not going to give up his seat. If I was an elder statesman, I would not give up my seat. I'm not even going to lie. I mean, it's one of the coolest jobs to ever have. And to just give it up just because people say give it up, it's not a good enough reason to give it up. It's going to be crazy. I mean, the Republicans have been doing all that they can do to be able to retain power. I'm not mad at the playbook. I'm mad at the results. But you got to respect the grind. They understand that this is a game and they're trying to play this game in a way that is going to give them the greatest advantage. And this right here gives them an unprecedented advantage to be able to control our government. Honestly, shit, man. The things that the Republican Party have been doing this year alone has completely flabbergasted me. I have not seen such a political playbook in my young black life. They are going crazy. It is insane to see their plan in action. Right? They put out the Project 2025, Trump run the presidency, and then they have just been full steam ahead this entire time. And this is just one of the moves, and it is crazy. I mean, on the left, we were hopeful that, justice will prevail. But, when the government is controlled by the handmaid's tale, fellows, there's only so much hoping and praying and wishing you can do. One of my mentors tells me that I'm too pragmatic, but I don't know. Where's the hope? I don't know where the hope is. I hope these guys run out of steam. That's what I hope. I mean, but what do y'all think? What do y'all think about this? If you don't know who your new congressperson is gonna be, I'm gonna put a link in the description of this video that you can go on and find out who your new congressional member is going to be. If you do live in the state of Texas and these maps affect you and where you live and your representation, I'm going to put a link as to where you can go. They have a really resourceful link in the Texas Tribune. You can go, you can put your address in and find out who your new representative is going to be. This is, Christian Menifee, Amanda Edwards, Christian Menifee and or Amanda Edwards are going to have to take on Al Green in the primary. This is going to be crazy. Okay, it's going to be crazy. Thinking about the primary, the good Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett is eyeing a Senate race against Colin Allred and James Tallarico. This is crazy. Yo, if you've never tuned into my show, I do a lot of singing, a lot of funny noises, so just get with it. But this is going to be crazy. The Congresswoman is a powerhouse. She's a national powerhouse. She's one of the most known figures in American politics. Her stepping into the Senate race is going to be on some Shirley Chisholm type shit, and I am here for it. She is a fighter. She does not back down. And these young men have no idea what they're getting into, hopping into the ring with this lady. It is going to be something. I definitely think, my train of thought about men up against women in political matches is right now it is hard for men to beat women. And it is definitely going to be hard for these two men to beat that woman in this race just because she's such a star. She's such a bright spot in the Democratic Party. Either you love her or you hate her, but at the same time, you know about her, and she's not somebody to be played with. She's going to garner a lot of support. She's going to suck a lot of dollars away from their apparatuses. That fundraising money that they might have had is going to dry up some because she is who she is. And I'm looking forward to seeing what this race is going to look like, where the money is going to come from, what influencers are going to come in, try to persuade Texans, that their candidate is the best candidate. What is Texas going to do? Texas has not elected a Democrat statewide in my whole life and a couple of y'all's whole lives. It's just not really a thing that happens here. Some people are saying that, Tallarico is maybe the Democrats' best chance at this, because he fits the brand, right? We're going to put quotations around the brand. Colin Allred, he did have a chance last time. I don't know how much of a chance he has this time, just because his performance last time was not the best. But I do wish that brother well. I just think that right now, if the Congresswoman does decide to get into the race, we're going to have to really have a conversation about what Texans want, how they want to be represented, and who they want to represent them. I think the voters are going to come out in droves for this one, and it's going to be a very interesting match to see. Man, I wish I could see these comments. If there are any comments, I don't know if there are any comments. I don't know. Figure it out. This is my first stream, and I don't know how long. Really just kind of get my feet wet. But I've been reading these news articles, and I wanted to get on here and, talk to y'all about them, let y'all know what's going on, play with this new toy I just bought, right? Oh, please remember, Harris County early voting ends on December the 9th. There is currently a race right now between Dwight Boykins and Alejandra Salinas as the HBAD first vice president. I am here to let you know to please vote for our endorsed candidate. And if you have a couple of dollars, scan that QR code up there in the corner and donate some money to the Houston Black American Democrats. If you are all about helping Black people understand what is going on civically, you want to progress the cause of Black empowerment, liberation, and political power, please scan the QR code up in the top left corner. Give $1, give $2, give $1,000. Just give something. All right, shameless political plug. Don't hate on me. Find your own show and plug your own stuff. Next thing I want to talk about. This is insane. And I want to know where the Democrat version of this program is. Because these people are losing their mind. Like, the right is going full indoctrination. First, they went to the colleges. They had Charlie Kirk. Charlie was out here inspiring young conservative men and women all over the country. It was insane. It was like Hulkmania when bro was on the scene. It was fucking nuts. But now he is gone. Apparently his wife is taking over. But Turning Point USA has not slowed down. They now have high school chapters, and I think it's called Camp America? Club America. Club America, which is nuts. Club America, they are now about to go indoctrinate your high school children. They have said, we did such a good job at the collegiate level garnering this young conservative attention. Now we need to focus our sights on the 16 to 18-year-olds, 14, 18-year-olds. I don't know how old you need to be in this club, but Turning Point USA is not playing. My question is, where is the left side's version of this? Who got the money? J.B. Pritzker? What about Morgan and Morgan over there in Florida? Who has the money? Somebody needs to put together a program where the other side's ideologies can be shared through these public schools, public vehicles. Somebody has to do something. This is, I don't know. It's kind of getting out of hand. It's kind of getting out of hand. Like, and the crazy part is you can't do anything partisan on most school campuses. Like, and I know that Camp America is not a partisan organization. Totally understand that, but it is. Like, we know what's really going on. And again, to my earlier point with the Project 2025 and all of those things, the playbook is crazy. The playbook is crazy. I would like to put it out there that in this past election, like, more young men voted right than they did left. An overwhelming amount of young men voted more right than they did left. Now, that is due to a number of factors. It is due to a number of factors. The fact that young men don't feel viable in the workplace anymore. The relationships between young men and women have changed drastically from what we know our grandfathers and our grandmothers to have done, our mothers and our fathers. Like, just there's so many social changes. Like, there's even like this male loneliness epidemic, and a lot of these young men are turning towards more traditional means of gathering, going to church and things of that nature. And they are, being influenced by these right-wing media influencers and people like that who are telling them that their home is over here. And we are losing a lot of men on the Democratic side because the messaging hasn't been particularly aimed towards them over the last few years. And Turning Point USA and other right-wing strategists and like nonprofit groups and things like that, they understand this delicate balance. They see what's happening. They see the gains that they are making with young men and things like that, and they're leaning into it. And I definitely think that there needs to be some kind of a Band-Aid put on. I don't have all the answers. I'm just a guy to come here and, question stuff, really. I just got questions. I'm here to come up with answers, to team up with anybody and try to figure out a way to answer these questions. But I'm Mr. Question Everything. Right now, I'm questioning what's going on, really. Like, and what are we wanting to teach our kids? How are we wanting our kids to show up in the future as the future leaders of our society? What influences are we okay with them, being influenced by? Because I totally think that this is alarming. It's insane. It's insane. I'm not even gonna lie. It's just thing after thing after thing. Hell, today they, in Texas, right? They put out a transgender bathroom bill. Now, I am almost certain that this does not apply to public places, right? So private places. So businesses have the choice to decide whether they're going to enforce this ridiculous bathroom law that they are trying to enforce. But I don't, how are they going to know? How are they going to know? Right? Like, let's pull it up. Let's pull it up so I can show you all. Yeah, here we go. Uh-oh. All right, here we go. How are you going to enforce this? how are they going to know? What are they going to do? Pat down your privates before you walk into the bathroom at the courthouse? Like, what's happening here? What is the train of thought behind this? I mean, I get it. I get how some people can be like, oh my God, everybody that's the same should be in the same place. Like, that's not real though. Like, everybody should just be like New York and, let people go to the bathroom. I remember once I went to a club in New York and I was in the bathroom with everybody. And being a good Southern boy, I was confused as shit. What is going on in here? There's women in here. There's men in here. Everybody is in here using the restroom. But it was chill. It was really me. It wasn't them. It was me. So if you were like me and something like this bothered you, why? Nobody wants to see your pee-pee. It's not that serious. Like, you're not that awesome. Get over yourself. These people who created this bill should get over themselves because now you are policing people's private time. Like, no one is, I don't know anyone in my lifetime who has said, oh my God, I'm so worried about who's in the bathroom with me. Now, not saying that does not exist. Not saying that does not exist. But it is 2025, okay? Grow up. Have some compassion. Yo, what's up, Ryan? What's up, Joe? Men have been cast off to the side by the Democratic Party. I don't necessarily think that is true, Ryan. I don't think men have been cast aside by the Democratic Party. I largely think that it's more of a strategy thing. I think it's more of a strategy thing. The base of the Democratic Party, the people who vote, it's just like any business. Like you want to get the people who participate the most to come and give you their dollars and their time. And men specifically don't participate in high enough numbers to particularly be on the radar, like at least in the past. But as going forward, I do think that the party has seen the error of their ways, and that may be different. Hopefully, it is different. Okay, now back to the bathroom bill. Compassion for what? Compassion for people wanting to be who they are, dog. Like, that's what people need to be compassionate about. Let these people live how they want to live, G. Like, you cannot police this. What are they going to do? What are they going to do? Like, I don't know about you all, but I've never had an issue in a public restroom with who was in the restroom with me. I don't even pay them people any attention. Do you? Like, is that something that you do when you go in the bathroom before you get in there, you go? That's insane. Why do that? Why do that? Like, that is offensive. You can't put no offense in front of a comment. That is offensive. Just because you say no offense doesn't make it less offensive, bro. It's offensive. It's offensive. Okay, now, Joe, no, I do not want a man in the restroom with my daughter. But right now we're talking about transgender people, right? So a transgender women have been going to the restroom with women for as long as we've been alive. For as long as we've been alive, this has been a thing. My thing is, if we're going to turn something into a policy, how is that policy actually going to be enforced? Because all I see is this policy stoking division, making people argue points that are not progressive for like what we're trying to do in society. There's enough division already, and now we're talking about where people go pee. Like, not saying that neither one of you have invalid points. Not saying that at all. What I'm saying is the thing, right? Like healthcare, the economy, stuff like that. Like, those are things that we should be worried about. Not this. I mean, it is very liberal. And honestly, it is a very liberal thing for me to say. And I'm a moderate person. But it just depends on the policy. And I'm not someone who believes that we should be policing people. Especially people who are not doing anything wrong. These people aren't doing anything wrong. These people are not doing nothing wrong. They're not doing anything wrong. Just trying to live. You are going too far, Ryan. I'm not going there with you. I'm going to the next story. I'm not going there with you, man. I'm not going there with you. That is completely different. That is completely different, and you know it, and you always want to go to these extremes. Whenever there's some kind of discourse going on about some policy that is a little bit too progressive, you always go this far, and we're not going this far. Everybody, that's my boy Ryan, a.k.a. Snooches Booches. He's a troll. Joe, I do understand, and I am saying that don't disagree with you. Okay, wait. These comments things getting me all frazzled. All right, Joe, I totally understand. All I'm saying is let people live. And Ryan, yeah, you're right. You're right. When I was I had an older sister come up to me once at an event that I was in, and she was saying to me, Lord, please, I can't go through another election cycle with people talking to me about, bathroom issues and stuff like that. I really want to hear more about things that pertain to what's happening in my life and things like that, things that we can, actually work through and change. Where people go to the restroom, who people love is none of our business. I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to get off of it because I got more stories to talk about. These are not men. These are trans women. And most of the time, you don't know that they were born male. Look at what happened to Chinky. I'm just saying. There's actually a crazy movie. Oh my gosh. There's a crazy movie on Tubi. I'm going to find it, and everybody needs to watch it. It's about these. I'm just going to find the movie, and I'm going to put it up. And y'all are going to remember that this is the movie that I told y'all to go watch. It's a crazy, crazy movie. Crazy movie. All right, cool. Next topic. I already talked about that. So the Pentagon actually whoop-de-doo. The Pentagon is saying Freaky Pete. I don't know how to say his last name, but if you've ever listened to any of his speeches, it's weird. He is our defense secretary. They're saying that his signal chat violated regulations. Duh. This guy is over the Defense Department. It is insane. Yes, you sit why are you even talking about classified information over signal? I know this is old news, but it is wild to me that right now in December, when this happened so long ago, that right now our government, it took them all of this time to say, oh yeah, he could have got somebody killed for doing that. Who is in charge? We have a branding problem. The world is looking at America going, that country is run by a bunch of idiots. It is. I don't get it, right? I've heard a bunch of things about the defense secretary, about his military record and who he was and who he is and things like that. And the Trump cabinet is made up of, a bunch of caricatures. I'm not saying that these people are not capable to be able to do whatever it is he hired them to do. But I am saying that these people are, what am I trying to say here? I'm trying to say I'm worried. I'm trying to say I'm worried. I'm trying to say I don't really understand what the hell is going on with them people. I'm trying to say that I'm not scared of anything like that. I'm a black man in America, and like stuff like this has been happening all the time. But I don't like it's as a political junkie, right? I will, I'm a political scientist. I got 2 degrees in this. I read it, I eat it, I sleep it. It's everything. And in all of my research, I've never, I've never seen this. I've never seen this to this degree. I mean, people say people say Hitler and all these other different kind of people, but this kind of carrying on is a unique kind of carrying on. And I don't see this going, I don't actually see this going Handmaid's Tale. But like for the time being, it is gonna be extremely weird. There's gonna be some strange things happening. Like like this guy being able to become the defense secretary, our president being able to rant on his own social media platform like all day long. I mean, it is baffling, but it makes great news and it makes for great entertainment. Oh my God, it's so entertaining. Like and before, I would like to preface this by saying I don't want anybody to think that I think that the president and his cabinet are like not smart people, because I definitely think they're smart people. Unsmart people wouldn't be able to do what they're doing. I would like to make that clear. If these people were not intelligent, where we are right now in the country, we would not be there if these people were unintelligent. So please do not fool yourself to think that the country is being led by a bunch of imbeciles. You may not like what they are doing, and that is fine. But if you think that these people who have seized control of the government of the most powerful country in the world are stupid, you are sadly mistaken, my friend, and I would like for you to jump out of the delusion right now. Know that this is a fight against people who have a level of intelligence to be able to manipulate, propagandize, and activate large bodies of people at their will. This is Mr. You're Fired, who we are fighting against. He got a lot of firepower. And in war, the first thing they do is they devoid you of resources. Pay attention to the playbook. They cut the money off. They stop giving you stuff. They make you dependent on them. These guys have read The Art of War. They have read all of those books that all these influencers on the internet telling everybody to read that's going to make them a millionaire. They have read them because they're millionaires, and these people are rich, and they don't have anything other to do but plot on world domination. So if you think that there are a bunch of idiots in the White House, that is a fair assessment, but do not fool yourself to thinking that these are unintelligent idiots, because even a fool can win a war. Just know that. Just know that. And you got to put your boots on, because they're not playing. Check it out. They're not playing. Right out of the Trump playbook. Right out of the Trump playbook. Giving Texas newborns $1,000 each to invest in the stock market. Now, I have not delved into this, so let's delve, right? Let's delve. Let's see what's happening. Let's delve. Stock market, taking a page out of Trump's playbook. Investment accounts, new little Texas savings fund. That sounds cute. invest $1,000 in public funding in the stock market for every baby born in Texas. Who is managing this fund? I appreciate that, because who is managing this fund? What are we doing? So do you believe that what is going on and allowed for the benefit of political events is done for us as citizens? I believe that policy is made for those who can pay for policy. It depends on the representative that you choose to represent you. So if your representative is somebody who is a for the people kind of person, then they will go and they will fight for the community in a way that is not self-serving, but that just depends on who is elected. While policy is being written, policy is supposed to be written for the masses and not for, not for a specific emotional, moral, or ethical reason specifically. It's supposed to solve a problem. Now, if that problem fits in one of those buckets, then it should be solved that way. But I don't think inherently any policy is specifically for, like, I don't really think it's for the people at this point. I think policy is for those who can pay for it. I mean, like, look at the city of Houston. We have a city full of roads. It's not very walker friendly. There are food deserts everywhere, things like that. It's one of the greatest cities in the country, but a lot of the policy that is implemented here is not directly beneficial for the citizens. Just look around you. Look at where you live. Look what's going on in your community. Do you feel like the policies and, ordinances and things that are being put in place, do you think they are directly beneficial for people, or do you think they are directly beneficial for the corporations who, pay for these policies to be able to benefit their bottom line? You got to remember that politics is business and business is politics. I heard Royce West say that like some years ago, and it's something that has always stuck with me, that politics is business and business is politics. And you cannot separate the two at all. So, like, how we get to in business, and in business is not, that's why you have nonprofits, because business doesn't have any feelings per se. So I don't know, I personally don't know. And, my mentor tells me all the time that I don't speak with much hope, stuff like that. But I just try to see how it is. And I think the way it is right now is you got to pay your way. Now, there are people who are going to fight for you. That is why it's really important for you to be able to go and vote, make your voice heard, participate in your local elections, in your local government, because at the local level is how you get to the federal level. Like, there are steps to this, and people think that it's reverse. But local politics is actually the most important. The federal, is the bottom, because depending on your political philosophy, that depends on where these systems lie, right? Like, for me, I believe that the power should be with the people. So I think hyper-local politics defines your immediate area, and then you choose somebody. What? So what you're saying is, if it fits the agenda of so-called politicians that are appointed to represent the people, to agree on, but is wait, what? You said is if the agenda of so-called politicians that are appointed to represent the people are not agreed upon, but the point is what it is. If I'm understanding your question correctly, you elect your representation to be able to advocate for you and your loved ones in your community. Now, if you so happen to elect a snake, you will get snake behavior. I think that's the best way that I can put it. But when you do go to these people to be able to get them to go to the federal government or the state government or the local government, the city government, the county. This is true. They do. But like the whole point of you picking a representative is that this representative is advocated to you in a way that makes you feel as though they will do the things that they told you they were going to do. And it is up to us as people, as the community, to hold these people accountable so that they can keep their jobs. I think the problem now is we have, as people, taken our feet off the brakes, and we've given our representatives a lot of room to run, and we don't ask much of them, especially like our generation. And I think that it is because we don't particularly know how to participate in the process. It's not something that has been heavily taught to us. It's not something that they teach our children. It's not something that, quite honestly, it's not something that you really want a lot of people to know. Like if you trying to keep whatever you got going on, you would like to keep the margins small so that you can keep your job. But, that's not in the best interest of the people. So, you got to pick your people. You got to do your research. Go listen to them talk. Pull up on them. Ask them questions. Send them emails. Send them DMs. But you need to be able to know that the people that you chose to help you will actually help you and they won't line their pockets. You can look on Google, you can find plenty of examples of people who have lined their pockets, but there are also plenty of examples of people who did not line their pockets, people who are fighters for the people all day, every day. It just depends. But it's kind of a double-edged sword, like being an elected official is a dope job. It's a dope job. So, you can't be mad at people who don't want to give up their job. I don't think so. I don't think so. All right. So, my fellow Texans, there are a new slate of laws that are going into effect. We're gonna go over them a little bit. So, House Bill 7 will let private citizens sue anyone who manufactures or distributes abortion drugs to or from Texas. Those who take the drugs cannot be sued. The plaintiff, if related to the fetus, could get at least $100,000 following a successful case. If they are unrelated to the fetus, they could only get 10% of the damages, and they must give the remainder to charity. Backers of the law says it protects unborn babies and closes loopholes, while its critics said the measure turns individuals into bounty hunters and tries to broaden the state's abortion ban beyond its borders. This law went into effect today. If they catch you making or selling abortion drugs and Miss Wanda finds out, she can turn you in. She gonna get a check. And you better make sure that's not Miss Wanda's niece. Because if that is her grandniece, you is finna get hit. It's a crazy law. House Bill 8 will replace the state of Texas assessments of academic readiness with 3 shorter tests throughout the school year. This law will swap out standardized tests that critics have long said push too much pressure on students and requires too much classroom preparation time. I think all standardized testing should go. Education should be holistic. You should teach kids things that are actually applicable to life. As a former teacher, the Texas education system is nuts. I actually graduated from high school in Japan in the Department of Defense system. There was no standardized test. When I went to high school in California, there is an exit exam, but there is no standardized testing up until you get to the exit exam. I think that the learning environment in both of those places was a lot more free, gave me a lot more peace of mind. And I think that Texas is doing our children a great disservice by testing them like this, turning them into robots, and giving them information that they may not ever use in life. So I do think that this is a step in the right direction, but also they should get rid of it completely. Standardized testing does not do anything for the students. Kids learn how they learn. You cannot shove unrelevant information down their throats and then call them dumb because it's something that they don't care about. I could go on and on and on about this, but this is a step in the right direction. House Bill 18 will create more penalties for lawmakers who break quorum to delay. Come on, man. Jesus. The Republican Party circumventing people from being able to participate in the political process the way that they would like to because it does not benefit them. If you cannot figure out how to win, change the rules. That is, oh my God, Republican Party. Shout out to all the Democratic lawmakers that left the state to be able to fight against these gerrymandered maps that make our state less equitable, less accessible. Like, shout out to all of them. Y'all did a great job. Love you all. Love you all. Even the ones who came back early. All right. House Bill 25 would allow people to buy. I don't know what that is. It's something that you're going to treat parasites with livestock without a prescription. It became popular during COVID. That sounds crazy. That sounds nuts. I mean, but I know people who do horse tranquilizers. I don't understand that either. Like, why are y'all taking animal drugs? I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. House Bill 26 will allow Harris County sheriffs and constables to enter contracts with homeowners associations, school districts. I don't have any feelings about this. I don't necessarily know how this system works, but I know that we have a tough time allocating resources for all these departments. So if they have a source of revenue for themselves, I don't think I'm against it. Yeah, Senate Bill 8 is the bathroom bill that we talked about. So it's in public buildings. And like I said, how are you all going to know who it is? Universities? Public schools? What are you going to do? Are you doing meat checks? What's happening here? How are you supposed to know? How is this enforceable? Why, Lord? Why? This makes no sense at all. It's insane. Senate Bill 11, I think this is a wonderful bill. It shields trafficking victims from prosecution from certain crimes committed under the trafficker's force, fraud, or coercion. Let me say this. Ladies, be careful out here. Okay, be careful outside. I ran into one of my former classmates from Prairie View, and she was, telling me that she knows a guy that is a cop, and he's telling them that they're selling young women for 30 bands, $50,000. They catch you in the parking lot, put you in a van, they sell you for $30,000. People being sold for $30,000 is insane. And I know she wasn't playing with me because the look on her face, like she was like legitimately terrified. She said she was in the parking lot and there was a guy, like she noticed the gentleman was following her around the store. And she was nervous about it. She left the store. She called her husband. She was like, yo, this guy is following me around. And she started barking, like while she was on the phone with her husband, and he was thrown off, like, oh my God, why are you barking? She's like, I don't know what else to do. I'm terrified. Like, I have no idea what to do. And as a man, that's not a reality that I face. And a lot of my homegirls me and my homegirls don't really talk about that. But so when I do hear things like that, it makes my heart real heavy. And I just want to tell all my sisters, black, white, whatever color you are, don't matter. We are sisters and brothers in Christ. Please be careful out here in these streets, right? Y'all be outside, dolled up, running around late at night and stuff like that. And I know it's sexist for me to say something like this as a man, right? You know, women's rights. And if ask anybody who know me, I fully support women's rights. Do what you want to do. But like Ryan say, stay strapped. I don't want nobody out here getting caught lacking. Like none. It is insane. Like I would hate for that to happen to anybody that I know. I would hate for it to happen to anybody that I don't know. And like if you a dude and you out here trafficking women, you're a fucking weirdo. Like for real. Like get a job. All right, cool. So Senate Bill 8, it will require sheriffs and counties that operate a jail to formally cooperate with U.S. with ICE. And they're incentivizing them with money. This is a thing that this is a fight that's happening here in Harris County where I live. Man, just do right by the people, dog. I'm not even gonna lie. Just do right by the people. Just do right by the people. Like if somebody is here illegally, you know, give them a hearing, give them due process. Don't traumatize children. Like it don't gotta be like this. It don't gotta be all Gestapo-ish. It don't gotta be like this. Yes, okay, they broke the law. It is not a criminal offense. It is a civil offense. Give them their due process. They're here. There's nothing you can do about it now. Just like the bathroom thing. Just like the bathroom thing. I know people who've been here illegally for years. They're great people. They don't deserve that. My partner said his favorite taco truck lady got deported and he wanted to flip tables. I feel it. I wouldn't want anybody to be deported, especially if you've been living here your whole life and you don't know anything else. Like that, it's terrible. Don't traumatize people. Think about people's mental well-being. Don't just do stuff because you want to do stuff. Senate Bill 38 will speed up the eviction process for squatters. I have mixed feelings about this. Siri, be quiet. I didn't ask you any questions. I have mixed feelings about this. I think that if you do own a property, that nobody should be able to take advantage of you because the law says they can take advantage of you. But at the same time, landlords should not be rude to people who are experiencing financial hardships. I mean, like, now, I don't think that the financial hardship should put a burden on the landlord, which makes it, makes it weird. It makes it weird because what about the business? What about the person, right? Going back to our earlier point about things being, morals, ethics, and stuff like that. Business, politics, these are, more calculated things. Unless you are Ben and Jerry's, right? Like, I don't really know how you. I don't even think. I'm sure even though Ben and Jerry's, they give a lot. I'm sure that they are very practical in their business decisions, and they won't let anything affect their bottom line. They give so much because they have such a heavy, they got so much heavy cash flow. But I mean, I think this right here is. I feel for both sides because, the margins on rent aren't high. Ben & Jerry's is amazing ice cream. I will not take that slander on the Christian and Focus show. I will not. I don't know. Look on the website. Like, I can't. I'm not gonna like rattle that off. But look it up, bro. Like Ben & Jerry's is one of those private institutions that you can be. Like, yeah, they do stuff for humanity. And that's saying something because a lot of companies don't do shit for humanity. They don't do anything for the world. Like, for real. They have to be begged and pleaded and forced to do that. The guys that started Ben & Jerry, that was part of their creed. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, like, I mean, it's a for-profit company, but they give a lot of stuff, bro. That's one of the things that Ben & Jerry's is, like, known for. Is their philanthropy. Like, it's a pretty cool company. I'm not going to lie. It is a pretty cool company. Not going to lie. Oh, yeah. Before I get out of here. If you did not know, if you are black, we are still boycotting Target. I did not know that. I thought that the Target ban had gotten lifted. So I'm here to tell everybody else like me, don't go in there, right? Like I was at the barbershop the other day, and I was telling my barber, I'm like, yo, we're not supposed to go to Walmart, Amazon, Home Depot, and Target. He was like, what? He was like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, man. He was like, yo, that's why them old ladies was looking at me crazy at Home Depot, giving me that crazy energy. And I'm like, yeah, probably so, right? Because they looking at you like, coon. Like, which is cold, you know what I mean? Because you probably ain't know. You probably ain't see it. But, so everybody that is under the sound of my voice, that is watching my beautiful face through this screen, through this camera, you see me, you see it, you see it, you see it, right? Don't go in there. Shout out to my boy Vern. You know what I'm saying? Vern put me on game in a major way. Do not go in there. Even though Target is it's a wonderful shopping experience, they effed up. I know I've been dropping a couple bombs and stuff, and the Lord is still working on me. The Lord is still working on me. I might get in the post. I'm gonna get Kathleen to bleep that stuff out. The Lord is still working on me, but I want everybody to know: no Target, no Walmart, no Home Depot, no Amazon. Now, it is a little troublesome for me because I live in Houston, Texas, and there are a lot. I don't really know where else to go. And I'm a man. Like men are like really routine. So I need somebody to please tell me where else to go. It's Christmas time. I got a 4-year-old daughter. I don't really like Etsy. I ordered some stuff off of Etsy and it was like cheap. Like I'm not here to talk down on anybody's small business, but I just need to know like where to go. The farmer's market is far. You know what? I'm supposed to be like down with the cars. I'm supposed to be down with the cars. Those people in Montgomery, they like walk to work and stuff like that. A little inconvenience. I'm such a millennial. I am such a millennial. A little inconvenience is so much for me because I'm a millennial. I was born during the age of luxury. I don't know struggle. I don't know it. I don't know struggle. But for all of you all who don't want to be cooning it up, stay out of these stores, right? You know what I'm saying? Let's follow the leadership of our good brother here. I do want to pose the question at like, where do we go from here? Like, what as far as like, because I mean, right now there are only those stores for us to go to, right? Like, and what do we do to rebuild the infrastructure, the economic infrastructure of our communities? What do we do? How do we do that? What does that look like? Right? Like, understand that, those who do not look like us, control the purse. But we have the internet. We live in the age of technology right now. And there's so many different ways to be able to make money and generate revenue. The internet is the biggest direct to consumer market in the history of the world. It's our Silk Road. And with that knowledge, how do we create an economic reality for Black America that will allow us not to have to participate in boycotts like this at these big box stores? Like, how do we do that? What does that look like? I think that's my question. That's the question I've been asking myself, right? Like, are there no financial institutions that will spend money on, on this endeavor? Is there like, I don't know. I ain't got all the answers. I just got a lot of questions, right? I see things, and it's one thing that me and my child's mother, we go back and forth about a lot. Like she'll tell me, yeah, they're doing this, they're doing that, they're doing this, they're doing that. And I seem like such a pessimist because I'm asking myself, why aren't the conditions of the majority of us getting better? Like, and it makes me feel like I am not being supportive of like the actions of these people. Like maybe I'm just being too hard on them. Maybe I'm being too hard on myself, or maybe I'm not understanding the realities of what's happening. But it just seems so cyclical, right? Like we say, like, don't treat us mean, pay us well, and then they just don't do any one of those things, and then we just have to keep going back and, like, struggling. And the people who are hurting the worst from this, right? Like, 'cause I think it's a good idea, but those people who like work at these Targets that are closing, like those people who, like these people who are getting their hours cut at these stores, like they can't really afford to not go to work. Right? Like, so what about those people? Like, I asked the question the other day, as far as like, what does it look like to be, what is it like, if you live in a place where, like, the only source of commerce in your area is a Walmart or whatever the case may be, like, what do you do? Are you a coon? Do you not really care about the movement, right? Because you're not going to drive to the next town over to be able to support the movement. Like, I just have so many questions. Like, I don't know. Like, right. Like, I live in a food desert. There's not a lot of shopping around me. And I'm also not a local. So there are a lot of places I just don't know where to go to be able to get the things that I need. I don't want to go. Why am I worried about being a coon? I mean, who wants to be a coon? Like, this is a thought. I thought this was a safe place. Okay? This is a safe space. Christian in Focus is a safe space. This is how I feel, brother. It's how I feel. You know what I mean? Like this, I'm black, blickety, black. Like I live and breathe. I know me. I know I'm not a coon. I'm the furthest thing from a coon. But what I'm saying is there are people who are uneducated and unaware about what's going on. And this may be something that they thinking. It's something that I'm thinking. Somebody else might be thinking that. So if they are thinking that, is there an open channel of communication that we can have so that we can massage these thoughts for these people? We can give these people some relief. They can understand where to go, how to participate, stuff like that. That's all I'm saying. But I don't disagree with you. But so that wraps up today's show. I really enjoyed doing this. I really miss doing this. Thank you to everybody who commented. Thank you to everybody who got on, who looked, who liked, who loved. I really appreciate it. I hope you got some value from this. It'll be up on my YouTube, and there'll be clips on Instagram and TikTok and so on and so forth. I've been doing this every Thursday around the same time, about 7:00. So until next time, love, laughter, and learning. That's the only thing that matters. It's the only thing that matters. Love you all. Y'all stay blessed. Holla at me.